Now it's time to induct the newest members into our Hall of Fame. We will begin. Oh yeah, clap anytime you want tonight. It's a night for celebration. We will begin with the class of 2020, and leading things off is Donna Fields, head coach at St. Mary's University. Donna Fields is the only Rattler in school history with a national championship both as a player and coach. The 12-time Heartland Coach of the Year guided St. Mary's to a 2002 NCAA Division II national title, seeing her alma mater collect a program record 58 wins and finish atop the final NFCA Division II coaches poll. In 23 seasons, Fields has steered the Rattlers to 949 victories, 18 conference titles, 15 NCAA regionals, 3 super regionals, and 4 NCAA Division II national championship berths. And she's obviously very popular. Fields, a 3-sport scholarship student athlete at St. Mary's, was an NAIA All-America left fielder and integral part of the Rattlers' 1986 national championship team. I remember that team. I was at that tournament. I went 0-2. She got a trophy. The university highlighted her all-around accomplishments as she was inducted to the St. Mary's Athletics Hall of Fame in 1988 for softball and basketball. At this time, please enjoy this video highlighting the career of Donna Fields.
Donna takes a lot of pride in what she does. She puts 100% in everything, whether it's coaching on the field, preparing for a game, preparing for practice. She just takes pride in it.
Her work ethic, winning the amount of games she's won to the championship she's won in Heartland Conference. I think her work ethic throughout her career has set her apart from her peers.
The passion in which she goes about her daily business. You don't do what she's accomplished and will accomplish in the future and stuff without having a genuine passion for what you're doing, and that, to me, that describes Donna in a nutshell.
She wants to compete, but she wants to do it the right way, and I always admired Donna for that, because she always wanted to make sure that she took care of anybody around her, but she also wanted to be right in the thick of things and do it the right way, and she was very prideful about that.
Obviously, winning the President's Award here a few years ago pretty much says it all. Again, showing her leadership, what she does within the community here, what people think of her on our campus. She embodies Rattler spirit with the family and the culture she's creating.
Donna has a huge impact on the community. Even though she's not one to talk about it, she's silent in her actions. But it's powerful because she gives 100%.
You talk about character, you talk about role models, those type of things that are really important, both on and off the field. And I think, Donna embodies all that. She, her character is unbelievably good. She's a tremendous role model to her kids. You put every adjective that you want to about character in there and stuff, and Donna embodies that.
She works hard. Her dedication to her team, her dedication to her family, and all the alums. I mean, she's in constant communication, trying to keep us all together.
You can't ask for a better person to represent any organization. And to represent a school like St. Mary's, I mean, that she does things the right way, and I think that's the way the school wants us to do things here. And so I'm very happy to know her, to work with her, and to have her as my friend.
From a tradition standpoint, I mean, her kids know how to win. I mean, they've won for a long time, and I think, sometimes, you have to get a feel for winning games, and I think that she kind of breeds that confidence amongst her team that they, no matter what the score is, that they still have a chance to win. And I think she's probably won her share of games when it looked like that they were out of it and stuff, and they came back and won. But I think that comes from the top, and her breeding confidence into her players that they do still have a chance to win.
She embodies the definition of a true coach. Her dedication to her athletes is very special, and I think this is an award that's been long coming.
The family atmosphere she's created within our program, been a great culture. Obviously, you can see that from her success.
I'm going to go back to a thing that my dad had told me a long time ago, that our greatest challenge will be in raising our family the right way. And her and her husband Andy have done an absolutely phenomenal job of raising their kids the right way. It's a great family to be around.
She's a great wife, great mother, and and then it carries on. She worries about the girls the same way she worries about her own. And she makes sure and to give the girls the greatest experience they possibly can have here, and I think she does an excellent job at that.
It's tough playing for her, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I love her. She pushes me day in and day out, has set an example for me, such an inspiration for me.
Her greatest accomplishment, if you were to ask her, is to see her athletes give 100% on the field, but also get that education and take on the values that she teaches them into the future with their own families.
Whenever you get honored with something like this, you know that you have done something really well for a long period of time, and that speaks to your persistence about trying to get the right type of kids in our program and continue the tradition that we started back in the early '80s, and just say congratulations, well deserved.
I am so proud of her. This is an award that's been long awaiting for. She's very deserving of this.
Very, very deserving. I appreciate all the hard work that you put into our program, and the mentor that you've become with the young ladies throughout your whole career, but obviously even today.
I think it's well overdue, and they couldn't have picked a better person to fill that role, and it's well deserved. And I'm sure there's other awards she could get, but this is a big one, and I'm very proud of her.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium 2020 NFCA Hall of Fame inductee, Donna Fields.
Cheers. Wow. Good evening, everyone. I hope you and your loved ones are healthy and you're enjoying being here in person once again. I sure am glad the 2 years is up. In reflecting on my past 35 years of coaching, a story from my very beginning reminds me of how I was not quite sure I was cut out to be a college coach. On my first recruiting outing, I had gone to Houston for an exposure camp, anxious, scared, and feeling inadequate. Following the camp, I loaded in the car and headed home with a sigh of relief it was over. About 2 hours, though, into the drive home, I realized I had not filled the car with gas. Yes, I ran out of gas on I-10 out in the middle of nowhere. Fortunately, there was old clanky beginning of car phones, so I was able to call roadside assistance. I shook off the mishap, but wondered about the significance. Thankfully, with me here tonight, I continue to persevere, as we ask all of our athletes to do on a daily basis. I'm honored and humbled to be standing up here tonight to receive such a prestigious honor in our sport and to be in the hall with so many of the great coaches that have paved the way. It is a privilege to be beside the 2020-2021 class of inductees, Chris, Hines, Leslie, and Mary. Congratulations to each of you for all that you have done on your campuses and in the sport of softball. Carol Brugman and the entire NFCA staff, thank you for such a wonderful event tonight and for all that you do to elevate our game. For the recognition you provide for our student athletes, because without them, tonight would not be possible. Thanks to Brian for taking care of Division II, and for Lacey Lee for all that she did for me in my early years. Karen, Larissa, and the Hall of Fame committee, we appreciate your service and for making this event the marquee feature of the convention. Life is full of decisions, choices, and in softball we say good hops and bad hops, do we not? I have been fortunate to have quite a few good hops in my career. Although 25 years ago, I was at a crossroads. I was in my 10th year coaching at the high school level and 8 months pregnant with my second child, when my husband and I decided that it would be best for me to step out of coaching and move down to the elementary level. Andy's schedule, a firefighter in the city of San Antonio, and my coaching schedule did not match up with childcare. I would never have guessed the Lord had a different plan for me. At the conclusion of my high school softball season, I received a phone call from the athletic department at St. Mary's University, encouraging me to apply for the head softball assistant volleyball job that had just opened up. I had no goals or plans to ever be a college coach. I really did not see it being an option as we were trying to raise a family. I went ahead and applied, and you saw those guys up there. They pretty much pressured me. I went ahead and applied for the position and did receive an interview. When offered the job, Andy and I prayed about the situation and decided we would make it a try, not knowing how childcare would be any better at the collegiate level. It has been a blessing to come back to my alma mater, to work alongside my former coaches, mentors, leaders, teachers, who have influenced me in my career in so many ways. Coach Buddy Meyer, Coach Jim Zelsnack, and Coach Charlie Meagle. I appreciate your wisdom, expertise, leadership, and loyalty that you exemplified every day in your job and with your student athletes. Thank you to my cousin, Laura Nugbar-Groff, the head volleyball coach at that time. Not only for the 3 years I learned so much underneath her as her assistant, but those years we trained together as student athletes. Those days helped develop the mindset, discipline, determination, and dedication it takes to be successful at the college level. Looking back, it is amazing how things lined up in the transition. The school and church that I had grown up in happened to be very close to the university and had just opened up a child care facility in the house behind the church. Although we were first on the list, we were placed on a waiting list because we were no longer parishioners. Fortunately, the facility did not fill, so we were able to move the children into the daycare, which also happened to be close to mom and dad. Although, after raising 9 children, my mom and dad made it clear that they had raised their children and they were not going to raise ours. Yes, I am one of 9 siblings. I'm number 8, with my oldest being 15 years older than myself. The large family has had a huge influence on my life in many ways. I will be forever grateful for my family's love and support through my playing years and then through my coaching career. I am thankful for their faith formation that they instilled in me and the loving environment that they provided, not only for our immediate family, but for all our friends and teams we brought home for all the celebrations. We did have the 86th celebration at our house. Through Andy's family, I gained another support group that were there for us anytime we needed them. I knew as I went to Kingsville, I'd always have fans in the stands because they were from Corpus Christi. They were some of our biggest fans. As the old saying goes, it takes a village to raise a family. We were blessed to have other families and friends willing to raise our children. We did rely on our folks, but we were able to meet many families that were willing to take our children to games, keep them involved in scouts and many other activities. We were grateful for their support to help make it work. My niece Jennifer and Joey gave up their time to watch the kids so Andy could go on the road with us and also to be with me on committee trips. I think we used them enough that we paid for most of their wedding. My siblings, too, were a huge help since we all live in San Antonio or the surrounding area. This honor has brought me to reflect also upon the many hands that have influenced me in an individual, as an individual and who I am as a person, player, and coach. I had many great teachers, coaches, and teammates, ones that challenged me athletically, ones that nurtured my spiritual growth, taking me to FCA conventions and sending me to leadership camps, ones that never allowed me to slip, and when I did, they found a way to get me back on track. The opportunity to play 3 sports in college, my high school coaching career, my mentor and buddy, Kathy, and the many other coaches I worked with during those 10 years, and my colleagues at St. Mary's, have all had an impact on my philosophy and coaching style. Although college coaching was not in my original plan, while here at St. Mary's, I have worked to give back to sport, to try to provide the best experience possible to our student athletes, because that is what I set out to do in my career. In addition, I would have to say thanks to my fellow Division II coaches that challenge me daily, both on the field and on the recruiting trail. It has been a privilege to work with each of you, providing the ultimate competitive experience for our athletes. Although every season has its challenges, I've had the privilege to coach such wonderful athletes. It is encouraging to see their evolution as people and the great things they are doing in society. The victories over the years emerge from their belief in me and the program that we work to continue to nurture and prosper. St. Mary's softball was very good well before I ever arrived, so it was important for us to try to keep the winning tradition alive. I would not be recognized today without my success of the student athletes, not only on the field but in the classroom. It has been an honor to work with each of them and to watch them grow into wonderful women. They too embraced the privilege of picking up the kids from daycare and helped us raise them into the people they are today, showing their affection and love of the game with them in the dugouts, on trips, and during the time we spent together. One of my most highlighted accomplishments is being a national champion as both a player and as a coach. As a player, I unfortunately was hurt with my second ACL injury. I was unable to contribute to the success as a player in '86, but I do hold the championship very dear to my heart. I learned a lot that season on the importance of those athletes in the dugout and the value of the bench. I was not the only starter that went down that year, so it took several teammates that had to step up and play different positions for us to still win. Winning the 2002 championship as a coach was a phenomenal experience. Not only winning the national title, but also for the camaraderie it has continued to nurture generation after generation. It helped create an environment for our legacy to thrive, as well as the visibility for a national caliber team. I believe these championships and winning seasons do not happen without the teams that precede it and come afterward. The characteristics of successful teams handed down through hard work year after year, from seniors to freshmen, starters to backups, transferring the lessons learned and ensuring season begins stronger than the next due to the knowledge that is exchanged. They are all champions. It has also been a time for me to step back and admire how many young student athletes have been inspired by and benefit from the passion that St. Mary's softball provides in the community, serving as coaches and mentors at the Little League, high school, club, and university levels in San Antonio, the state, region, and beyond. Since coming back to St. Mary's, our alumni have been exceptional. Whoop. Their presence at games, participation in alumni activities, and visibility in the community gives fire and encouragement to the current team to carry the torch. I appreciate Letty for volunteering her time as our pitching coach and her years of service exemplifying the values of St. Mary's softball and the true meaning of giving back. To the many alumni here in the audience, some that I have coached, as well as several of my teammates and lifelong friends, thank you for coming out tonight and supporting me as I receive this amazing honor. Your friendship and support over the years is greatly appreciated and means the world to me. I have been truly blessed. Thank you to my entire coaching staffs, my assistants, volunteer assistants, and graduate assistants throughout the years who have helped make this journey a success. At the beginning, we worked to build a foundation, our philosophy and direction of our program, spending countless hours on how to recruit, running of practices, defensive strategies, you name it. With each new coach, brought new ideas, refreshing perspectives, different strategies, and change while staying true to St. Mary's softball. To speak on each would take a while. Dave, Jessica, Kim, James, Arlinda, Haley, and now my current assistant, Haley Post, realize each one of you are all Hall of Famers. You all have had such an integral part in me receiving this honor. Thank you for your sacrifices you and your families have made, your hard work and dedication, but most of all, your friendship. Long, I know how you would not want me to draw attention to you, but I appreciate you nominating me for this honor. It means a lot. In addition, successful teams are highly dependent upon their support staff. They are the ones that make each day as a coach that much easier. I appreciate all of our hardworking trainers, SIDs, compliance officers, business manager, and bus drivers over the years. We also had two guys, Pete and Sonny, that helped drive the bands in our early years and were at every home game helping in any way needed. For Henry, you know him for the pride he had in taking care of our field. There is no doubt a piece of this Hall of Fame is for each of them. I would also like to recognize our current St. Mary's University leadership. President Mingler and Athletic Director Rob Coleman, thank you for continuing to provide the resource and support for our student athletes to compete at the highest level. It is a privilege to work at such a wonderful institution. Thank you for your leadership and guidance. I appreciate everything St. Mary's University, the Mariners charisma, and the family environment I have experienced as both an athlete and a coach. For our former president, Dr. Cottrell, to have confidence in me to assign me as the senior women administrator, and then to recommend me to be on the Heartland Conference, to represent the Heartland Conference on the Management Council. Through the Management Council, Committee on Women's Athletics, Regional Advisory Committees, the Top 25, and the All-American Committees, I've met many wonderful people in our field, individuals that have helped me grow as a person in my career and in the sport. For those times, I am very grateful and strongly encourage each of you to volunteer to do committee work. Lastly, I would like to thank my family. Although my hours kept me away quite a bit, we found a way to balance it and balance it together. Going to St. Mary's events was our entertainment. Our children knew most of the athletes and blew blue and gold just like all of us alumni. I am reminded that I miss birthdays, proms, confirmation, their only home run in their career. But I was fortunate to have coached Hannah and experienced 3 super regionals and 1 Final 8 with her. I often say that Drew, a volleyball baseball player, had to raise himself through high school. I will have to make it up to him by following his coaching career and to give him the support I was fortunate to have throughout mine. Allison, our youngest, has stayed in volleyball, so I've been able to attend most of her events, and I look forward to continuing to follow her one more year as a super senior at A&M. I'm very proud of all 3 of them and what they have accomplished, their faith, and the people they are growing to be. Weston, Hannah's husband, another Rattler and coach in the family. I enjoy the times we are able to talk shop and enjoy following your career as well, and do hope a little one comes soon. Lastly, but most importantly, to my husband, my #1 fan, for your constant support and sacrifices you have made for my career, though you have been teased about being Andy Eckert, as well as club mom for so many years. Without you, I would not be up here today being honored. Your friendship, encouragement, faith, and support has been my solid foundation that has nurtured me to have the strength and endurance to give of myself to my student athletes and to St. Mary's community. Thank you for your love, friendship, encouragement always. Thank you, Lord, for opening the window and giving me the wisdom to follow your lead. Thank you, NFCA, for this great honor. I wish you all the best of the best throughout your career. May you enjoy the little things and find that that joy leads to many bigger things than you would ever have imagined. Cheers.